Art Collins here. I'm going to review one of my most important day trading concepts today. Then I'll show you a brand new application of it. It's a critical day trade concept. You would almost certainly improve any methodology you're using if you entered trades only in the direction you are relative to the 8:30 a.m. opening. Be inclined to be long when you're above the opening price. Be inclined to be short when you're below it. If you never took any longs below the open or shorts above it, you would lose a certain percentage of trades. But again, I can all but guarantee they would be cumulative losses, or at least underperformers. Here's an indication of that. Some of you have seen this before. It's an optimization study off a 15-minute S&P chart. Each row represents a time that you would enter in the direction of the move off the day's open. You'd be a buyer if you were above it, a seller if you were below it. So the top row here corresponds to an 8:45 entry time. You'd be long or short every day, barring the rare day that ties the number. Next one down is 9 o'clock, then 9:15, 9:30, etc., down to the bottom, which corresponds to 2:30. And as you can see, it pretty much doesn't matter where you initiate. 3 net losers out of the whole field, only one of them significantly bad. Okay, so what about when the market trades below the open price for a given time period? Should you buy as soon as it goes above it, and if so, when? Or if it's languished above the open for a period, when do you go short as it breaks the opening price to the downside? I'll refer to this as the opening demarcation system. You trade it in 5-minute bars, day session only, so you construct your chart to span 8:30 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. Central Time. The rules are between 9:30 and 2:30. If the last 5 highs were all under the daily open, buy at the open plus 1 tick on a stop. In other words, you're buying just as it's crossing to the upside of the opening price. Conversely, be a short seller at the opening price minus 1 tick. If all 5 of the last 5 lows were above the open. Sometimes you'll get several crossings. Flip your position to the opposite side on each new signal. And any remaining trade should be exited at the 3:15 close. It's another day system, no overnight surprises to worry about. Fresh slate every day. Here's a visual representation. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highs that were lower than the daily open, represented by this orange line. So you're a buyer. Your position, you're a buyer at this opening plus 1 tick. And your position stays above the open for the rest of the day. You exit on the close. The next day, you get short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lows that are all above the open. And that also holds you through the close where you take your profit. These are 2 days each with a single trade, and sometimes you'll have more than one, and you should flip on each new signal accordingly. This is the S&P performance summary. $19,700 net profit between January 2nd, 2010 and March 13th, 2020. 38% profit. Again, you'll have whipsaw days, but your $396 average winner overtakes the $234 average loser. Over 1,500 trades, not likely we've happened on a fluke. And as we get to the related markets, we see even better results in some of them, notably the Dow, which has the biggest net profit, average trade, and return on account. So your takeaways, the 8:30 day session open is an effective demarcation line. You want to be buy biased above it, short biased below it. If at least the last 5 highs were below the open, buy at the open plus 1 tick on a stop. If at least the last 5 lows were above the open, sell short at the open minus 1 tick on a stop. The overall concept has wide potential application. I've demonstrated different ones in previous videos and writings. And as always, I encourage you to further tool around with it in your own lab. Please let me know if you find anything fantastic. Check out my latest release, Beating the Financial Futures Markets, the 2020 Almanac. And that's it. Until next time.